How much can I crochet in 24 hours? That's the question we're going to be answering today. I have seen a lot of people do these videos when it comes to like reading books, like how many books can I read in 24 hours? And I've seen a couple to do with like crochet and knit. So I've always wanted to try it out, and I have a couple days off, so I'm going to try it off now. I know I can make something in less than 24 hours, but like, I don't know. I've never really properly tracked it, so we're going to try it out today. This is not going to be 24 hours straight. I am not that person. I cannot stay up for 24 hours straight. I have things to do. I have places to be. So we will be doing it over a couple of days, and I'm going to keep track of how long I am working on it. This project that I'm going to be doing is a pretty big project. It contains all of these colors right here. Yep. So a couple weeks ago, I was actually sent all of this yarn from Wool Warehouse. It is a Yarnsmiths Create line, and it is beautiful. I love it. So I spent a bit of time yesterday winding up all of the yarn because I am going to be recreating or redoing my cat Afghan jumper that I did a couple years ago now. It was one of the very first wearables I'd actually made, and one of the first pieces of color work I had ever done. And whilst I love it and I do like how it came out, it actually doesn't fit me properly. I did it how I would have made a jumper, you know, a couple months ago, which is front panel, back panel, then add on the sleeves. But I didn't make the front panel big enough because the pattern that I follow is just a chart, and the chart is a repeating pattern that you would then, you know, make your Afghan, which is a blanket, as big and as long and as tall as you wanted. But I was just doing one section of it, and so I didn't, you know, I made it that big, which wasn't big enough to fit my body, if that makes sense. I've learned a lot since making that jumper. I've learned a lot about construction, I've learned a lot about colorway, and I've done gauge swatches. I know how to do those now. Another thing that was a problem on my first jumper was that the arms were way too big. Like, they're way too wide and they're way too long. So that's lots of things that I'm going to be able to fix this time round. I'm also not going to be constructing it in the same way that I did. I'm going to be constructing it in the same way that I've made this jumper and a couple other jumpers, which is my own pattern that I am trying to write. It's just, it is so much more work to write a pattern than you would think. But that is my bottoms up jumper. And I'm excited to do this because I've been wanting to do like a color work version of this jumper for a long time now, just to see how it would work. I've got another project that I want to make for my partner that involves color work as well, so I'm gonna see how that all goes. So yeah, I'm super excited. This time around as well, instead of the cat pattern just being on the front panel, it's going to be worked in the round. So this jumper, I think, is going to be a little bit bigger than this one, because I have to repeat the pattern 3 times, which gives me like 160 stitches or something like that, whereas this was only like 8, 16, 24, no. So yeah, it's definitely going to be bigger, but I'm hoping it'll be like an oversized cute little moment, you know what I mean? Because if I do this repeating pattern 3 times, that gives me 80 times 3, which is 240, and this is only 180, I believe. Yeah, so we're gonna see, but I'm gonna do it because I really want to. And if it's too big, it's too big, you know what I mean? I'll make it work. I'm not afraid. So let's just stop my rambling. But yeah, I wounded each of the balls. I was sent 1 ball of each of the colors, and I've split them into 3 because I'm doing 3 repeating patterns, and so I need 3 balls for each section. But that means that I'm going to be working with every single one of these balls of yarn at once. Yeah. So I've got my handy dandy food tray. It looks disgusting because we don't actually use this to eat food off of. I use this for yarn and for tie-dyeing, so it's got a bunch of tie-dye on it. Yeah, it's gonna be hard. I'm hoping to get the bulk of it done today, to be honest, so that I don't have to keep on like picking up and moving the balls of yarn when there's gonna be literally like a bajillion balls of yarn connected at once. Shall we just get started? What is the time now? Alexa, what time is it? It's 10:44 a.m. right now. I'm gonna get started and I'll update you in a couple hours, probably. Wish me luck. Bryony, you literally can't. I love you so much. You cannot sit there. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Okay, so it's been about 2 hours. I am in such a mess right now. This is not looking pretty, but it's working up quite nicely. You can kind of see it coming along. Some cats have their eyes. And it's not as big as I thought it was going to be, which is good. It's a good thing. What I accidentally did, and I could have fixed early on if I had have just thought about it a bit more, was when I joined the two ends together to make it in the round, I accidentally trapped all of my ends on the inside of my work rather than the outside. So not only is the yarn getting tangled on itself, it's getting tangled on the actual piece as well. But I'm too much of a I don't know what the word is, but I just don't want to do it. I just don't want to unravel, or I don't want to cut. I'm one of those people that if my yarn gets tangled, I will just keep going. I'll just persevere. Hence why I have all of these colors like this rather than like doing bobbins. I think a more practical person would probably make smaller individual bobbins and have like more ends to weave in. I'm not that person. I like a bit of chaos. It's okay. But yeah, I'm gonna keep powering through and see how it goes. I'll update you guys in a couple more hours, but yeah, it's coming along quite nicely, and I think I've got quite a bit done in 2 hours. I don't know what 2, 4, I don't know what I've only done 4 rows. I've only just realized, but what's 4 times 240? That's like 800, like 720, 760. Is that quick math? I don't know, but that's how many stitches I've done in 2 hours with like a bajillion color changes. So I'd say that's pretty good. But anyway, I'm gonna keep going and I'll see you in a couple hours. I messed up. What can I say? I messed up. And we're back at the beginning. I realized about, what would have been like 10 rows in, that I had done my foundation chain in half double crochet, which is the correct stitch that I was doing this in. And then for the rest of it I did doubles, which meant that my jumper was going to be longer than I wanted it to. So I have unraveled and we're just going to keep on going. We're just going to keep on keeping on. We're back at the beginning. I have restarted the timer because I didn't feel like it was fair. Okay, so we're back at square one, but it'll be fine. It'll be fine. I've only spent all day doing it. No biggie, no biggie. Anyway, I'm gonna keep crocheting until I fall asleep, and then I'll update you in the morning. Norman, what do you think about this? Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So I ended up working on this jumper for about 4 hours last night. No, like three and a half. And I got pretty far. Like I was pretty much at this stage when I realized my mistake and had to undo it. So not too much time lost, but like I said, I did restart the clock. So we're currently 3.5 hours in. So that gives us what? 20 and a half left, so kind of scary. We'll see how much we get done. So yeah, we're just gonna power through. I've been watching Lost. Me and Mum recently finished Grey's Anatomy. I binge watched it and she joined along like halfway through. We finished that yesterday, so I am now starting Lost, and it's actually really good. I tried to watch it a couple months ago and only got like 2 episodes in, but you know, I've got my Grey's Anatomy fix and I need something else to just sit down and just power through. So that is what we're doing. It is the day after. I just have the same jumper on, okay? Anyway, so we're gonna keep going. My yarn situation is kind of a mess. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But it's okay. We're gonna power through. Where is that last green ball? Okay, it's on the floor. And my cat is still in the way. She is still in the way, bless her. But it's okay. It's gonna be okay. We're at the stage where pink and yellow are no longer being used, so they are in the bag. I've just attached the blue and the dark pink, so the only ones left to add on are the light blue and the dark purple, but they're a little bit further up. What's quite funny is, so I asked for 1 ball of each colour because I knew that I wasn't going to use a whole skein of each of the colours, and I felt really bad because I knew that I would probably only use like 1/4, if that, of each of the colours, but I needed all of them obviously to fit with the pattern. And like I said, I've just finished the yellow and the pink and I have so much yarn left, so I'm thinking after I finish this project I might make like maybe some bags and just do like 1 or 2 rounds of the colours, make some bags, maybe a pillow, because I'd love to like use up all this yarn. It's such beautiful yarn, and I will say it's working up really nice. One thing I find about companies that sell such a wide variety of like shades of yarn and have huge amounts of colours like you know Yarnsmith does, but I'm also thinking of like Starcraft and what's the other one, like Wendy and stuff like that. I sometimes find that with different colours have different densities. Does that make any sense? Like when I very first started crocheting, I used to buy from my local yarn shop up by my university, and the biggest selection of yarn they had was Starcraft Specialty UK, and I still really like that yarn, but I found that like the dark green was slightly thicker than the yellow. Does anyone else have this problem when it comes to yarn and crochet, or just yarn and in general? But with this, I found that the consistency of the yarn is actually really, really good. Really spot on. It's definitely DK weight, because I have this problem with the Women's Institute. The Women's Institute DK is like a thick DK, like it's almost an Aran. Like that's like, I don't know why. I do really like the Women's Institute, but I would not recommend using a 4mm hook with the Women's Institute. I'd recommend like a 4.5, maybe even a 5 at a push. So I really like this yarn. The quality, the density, the color range, everything is just so good. This video is not sponsored. I was sent this yarn, but I would have bought it anyway because it's really nice. It is really nice. The colors I picked are really good, if I do say so myself. But yeah, we're just gonna power through. We're gonna keep chugging along. How many rows in am I? I'm like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I'm 14 rows in, and I think the repeat goes until like 40 or something like that. I don't quite know. It does look much better now that I have gone back and done half double crochets, which I was always supposed to do, but my brain just like automatically went into double crochets because that's what I've been doing the most recently. So it looks a lot better. doesn't look as stretched out. So I am glad that I took the time to undo it and start again. Scott was like, why didn't you just undo it from the start? And I was like, what do you mean undo it from the start? And he's like, you know, just undo it from the start. If it was just one row that you did wrong, like, why don't you just undo it from the start? And I didn't know how to explain to him that you can't just, I mean, you can, but it's painstakingly time consuming to undo a project from your beginning stitch, because all of your stitches go into that. So when you undo it, you have to like unknot every single stitch. It's not just a case of frogging and pulling the yarn. You have to think about it. And I was like, girl, don't talk to me about crochet. I don't talk to you about sound, you don't talk to me about crochet, okay? But yeah, it's looking really good. Oh, it looks so good. Like I said, the yarn situation, she's a little bit of a mess. She's a little bit of chaos, but to be honest, I'm not pulling too much. I'm kind of just letting the yarn sit. And because I have it all like semi-organized, it's coming through quite easily. Even when I had to undo everything and I had to like detangle it, it actually wasn't too bad. It hadn't knotted on itself too much. So yeah, fingers crossed it stays like that. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling and we're gonna keep going. Golly gosh, the sun is blinding. Okay, update time. It's been about 2 more hours and we're getting there. I've just been able to snip off the dark green, so the dark green is finished with, and I have this much left. Like, I have a lot left, so yeah, I definitely think I'm gonna make like a couple smaller projects with the leftover yarn, just so I don't throw it in my yarn stash and then forget about it. But yeah, very cool. Light green is almost done with, and I'll be able to add the light blue soon. Yeah, it's coming along really nicely. And because I'm doing half double crochets instead of double crochets, I think the pattern is going to finish before I separate from my armpits, which is kind of what I wanted. So it's all going to plan. My gauge swatch, it was worth me doing that. So yeah, but I've got some other responsibilities I have to be responsible for, so I'm going to take a quick break and go do that, and then come back in an hour or so and continue. But yeah, so what's that? It's been about 3.5 plus 2, about 5.5 hours. Yeah, good progress. Would you like to say hi, Brainy? Would you like to say hello? She's so sleepy. She's so sleepy. She's a snorer. Okay, so this is where we are at. Can you guys even see? This is where we are at after 6 hours of work. I had a little bit more of a break and did some other things, had some tea, and now I'm ready to knuckle down and keep going. It's looking really good. This is actually 2 different colors. This is red and this is pink. You can kind of tell there. It looks better in the light, but yeah, probably could have done with picking a slightly paler pink, maybe like dark pink. but I still think it looks good. And I'm super happy with the progress. So let's just keep going. Okay, day 3. I don't know how many hours this has been. Maybe like 8 question mark 6 7, I don't actually know. I'm trying to show you progress, but everything is tangled up. Oh, that's why. So this is what we're working with. How cute. How cute. You can see the difference between that pink and that the dark pink and the red now a little bit better. I still wish I'd maybe gone for a different shade, but I still really like it. It looks so good. It looks so good. And we're just going to ignore the mess. We're just going to ignore it. It will not be that bad once all the colours are detached. But yeah, we've got all the colours are officially on there. I'm going to be starting adding cream soon, the base colour. And yeah. I'm super excited. I think it's gonna be like the perfect. I was worried that like the cats weren't gonna come up on my chest that high, because on my original design the entire front panel is cats. But obviously this the cats kind of finished below my armpits and I thought it was gonna look weird, but actually it's quite big. So yeah. Very good. I am actually going to get my hair done today, so I won't be back until this afternoon, but we'll see how much I get done today. Alrighty then, it's a couple hours later. By a couple I mean like 6. My hair is all done, so thank you to my mom. And we're gonna get cracking. We're gonna keep going. I'm so excited. Like I said, I forget how many hours in this is. But I'll update you in a bit. We did it, lads. We did it. We did it. We did it. All the cats have been crocheted. I am now down to 1 ball of yarn attached instead of like 12 at a time. So this is actually a lot bigger. It's a lot bigger than the jumpers I would usually make. But what I'm going to do now is to start splitting for the front and the back, and just see how that goes. But it looks really good. I think this has taken me about 10 hours so far. So we're almost at the halfway point when it comes to 24 hours. But yeah, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about it. But it looks really good. So I'm going to continue crocheting for the night, but I'm not going to record anything because it's quite late, and it's quite late and we're quite dark. So my cat is stomping all over my computer as well. So yes, I'm going to keep going and I'll update you in the morning, I guess. Night night, guys. Good night. Okay, so it has been a couple of days since I last recorded because I've just been so busy with work and other things, but I have still been working on it a little bit. I have finished the front panel and I'm currently working on the back panel to then connect to finish like the body, and it's looking so good. I'm so excited. Hey girl. Hey girl. Anyway, I've made the neckline a lot smaller than I would usually do for my regular jumpers because in my original design I had done this multicolored ruffled collar, and that was a pain in the butt to do because I had to do so many color changes, and weaving in the ends was kind of a nightmare. So I think I still want to do a ruffled collar because that's kind of like the most iconic part, a little bit, like it's like one of the most iconic parts of the fit, but I think I might just do it all in the base color. But yeah, but because of that I don't need to do like a thick ribbing, I just need to do like a couple rounds of a ruffle. So I've made the neckline almost like where it needs to finish, if that makes any sense. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna crack on. I have got the day off today, but I am kind of split between this and doing some painting for my second job. Hey girl. It's nice and sunny in here. It is freezing cold at the moment. It is icy. It is so cold, but there's this one little bit of sunshine that is coming through the window, and Bryony is taking full what's the word, advantage of that sun. She likes to lick. But yeah, I'm just gonna crack on. I'll probably update you again once the back panel is finished. Another reason why I haven't been like recording myself as much over the past couple of days is because it's so dark. Like, it's winter in the UK and it gets dark at like 4 p.m. so the lighting is just terrible. You can't see anything that I'm doing anyway, so I'd rather just crack on and update you once I have something to show you. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing, isn't it? You're gonna help me? She's also deaf, so like, Bryony, girl. Yeah, nothing. She just, you only take hand signals. You got a bit of crust in your eye as well. There we go. Anyway, let's get some crocheting done. OMG! I think this might be my magnum opus. Is that the phrase? Is that what it's called? This looks so good. This looks so much better than I ever could have possibly actually imagined it would. This is my first time actually trying it on since I first started making it, which is kind of a running theme of mine. I like to just wing it. This could have been the complete wrong size and I wouldn't have known until right this second, but I knew if anything actually it was going to be too big, but it actually fits me really well. It's like the perfect size. Sorry, I'm just trying to get all the freaking ends out. This is beautiful. This is like actually beautiful. The neck I think is a pretty good size. The cats look incredible. I think I accidentally technically made the back the front. Like, this is like the starting, this is where the seam is, and I think I wanted it to like go red, orange, yellow, green, and accidentally that is what the back is, but honestly it doesn't matter. But this is so perfect. This is exactly how I wanted it to come out. Guys, I am a genius. I am so good at crochet. What can I say? I'm sorry, I can't help it. So yeah, kind of slayed. So now I'm gonna be stuck on Sleeve Island for quite a while, but I think the armholes are pretty much exactly like the size I want them to be. So that's pretty good. And in my original design, I also had like some rainbow stripes on the sleeves, but I don't think I'm going to do that with this one either. I think the statement of the piece has to be the cats. I think the focus needs to be on the cats. So I'm going to do the ruffle color cream, and I'm just going to make the arms cream, and then we'll do just like a cream ribbing for the bottom. Or do I even just like leave it? Do I even need ribbing on the bottom? I kind of like how it fits and how it sits. I guess maybe I'll decide that after I've finished doing the sleeves, and maybe I need to weave in these ends. I'm really putting it off. I was gonna weave in the ends before I like stitched it together, but I got carried away, as I usually do. So yeah, I will have to sort these out. But this, guys, this is so cool. I'm so excited to get this finished. It fits so much better than my original one as well. So much better. So much better. So, one more 12 for you guys. So good. Okay, so I've been working on the arm, right? And I've got it to a pretty good place right now. It took me a couple of attempts, but we're getting there. And I have done the collar. Now the thing is, I'm not very happy with the collar. And I like the ruffle. I think the ruffle is like a good ruffle, but I didn't make it small enough. I didn't make the hole small enough. So, and this is why you should try on your projects before going on to the next step. Because if I had realized that before I did the sleeve, I could have undone the seam and like changed the neckline before I committed to the sleeve. I thought the collar was going to be fine. Okay guys, I thought it was going to be fine. So I have two options. Either way, it involves me undoing the collar. I can either leave the sleeve. I'm not going to continue the sleeve just in case I do need to undo it. I don't want to, but I might have to. I can either undo the collar and just add a couple rounds of half double crochets until it is the size I want, and then re-add the ruffle. I'm going to try that first because that does not involve me undoing the arm and undoing like an hour's worth of work just for the sake of it. And if that doesn't work, I will then have to undo the arm, take out the seam, like undo the back and front panel, and redo the decreases for the neckline. So I am going to try the first option first, where I just do a couple rounds of half double crochets until it's the size I want. The only thing I'm nervous about doing with that is that it might not look right, if that makes sense. Like I don't want it to have like a ribbed collar, and I'm not going to do ribbing. I'm just going to do straight half double crochets, but I'm worried that there'll be like a little like row, do you know what I mean, like almost like this shirt is. You see how like this shirt here has like this little collar? I'm worried it'll kind of look like that and then have the ruffle and it won't look very good, but I'm going to try it. I'm going to try that first because otherwise I have to undo the arm, and like I said, it took me forever to do the arm, so we shall see. I do get people asking me how I do arms. I get people asking me how I do collars as well, like ribbed collars. Ribbed collars I find super easy, but it does involve a lot of trial and error. The same with the sleeve. Because I've made so many jumpers now, I know kind of like what sizes work for me and like what decreases and measurements and stuff work for me. And I find with sleeves, if I'm using a 4mm hook like I am with this jumper, 80 stitches is a pretty good size for me in the sleeve. So I started with like 106, and then I decreased 4 times every other row until I hit 80, and that's kind of like how I go. Because if I had just done 106 all the way down, this part here would be way too bulky, and I find that when I close my arm, this would be really big and this would just stick out permanently like that. Whereas now that I've like decreased it a bit, it fits a lot better. And if I do it every other row, then the decrease is less noticeable. So that's kind of how I do it for most of my jumpers. And then the collar, to be honest, I could add a ribbed collar to this shape and it would be absolutely fine, but I don't want a ribbed collar, I want a ruffled collar. And then I have a tutorial on my TikTok on how to add ribbing to a piece that's already existing. So I just do that. And the width of it kind of depends on like the material and the shape. And it's a lot of trial and error. Most jumpers that I do, I have to redo the ribbing like at least twice, because the first time round it's a little bit too big, so I just size my hook down, or it's too wide, so I have to then go back and make it a bit narrower. So that's my answer to all those questions. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and redo the collar and see how it goes. We are, I believe, at like the 19-hour mark, but I'm not gonna count me redoing the collar as part of it, because I just feel like that doesn't count. You know what I mean? I feel like it doesn't count. So technically I only have 4 hours left to finish this jumper. If I want to get it finished within 24 hours, I don't think I will, but I'm not gonna leave you guys waiting. I'll show you guys how much I get done once I hit 24 hours, and then I'll show you guys the finished product and how long it actually took me. But honestly, 20 hours so far for this kind of jumper is pretty good, I think. If I hadn't have had to have done all these color changes and stuff like that, I would probably be done by now if it was just a solid jumper. But I chose an ambitious project for this challenge. So yeah, I'm gonna redo the collar and I'll see you guys later. I can't do anything else. You want to be in it. Hey besties. We hit the 24-hour mark. Woo! Well, we actually hit the 24-hour mark like halfway down the sleeve, but I was tired and I had a cold. I still have a cold. So yeah, but this is how she's looking. All that I have left to do is weave in these ends and add a bottom ribbing. Isn't that exciting? That's so cool. Fixed the collar. I ended up just doing a couple rounds of, I think, half double crochets just around, and I decreased a little bit in like the corners, and now it fits perfect. Fits really good. And yeah, so cool. Sleeves are sleeving. Love the sleeves. Cuffs are a little tight. I worry I may have made them a bit small, but that should be fine. When I shared this on Instagram, I posted a little video of me doing a twirl in this. Got very good reception, so thank you guys so much. But people kept on saying, oh, leave the tails because they look like cat tails, and I'm like, as much as I love that idea, besties, I can't walk around looking like this. I can't do that. So I'm so sorry, but I will be weaving in these ends. It's gonna take me forever to do that, but yeah, I will be weaving in these ends. It's a cute idea. It's a cute idea. Maybe another project. Maybe a bag. Maybe I could do that for a bag, but not on this. I was also debating whether to do the ribbing colored, like as in like yellow, green, pink, kind of match where the cats are, but I think I'm just gonna do it cream. I think I'm just gonna stick to cream
cream and just let the cat's cat, you know? It's giving cat. But I do, like, looking at it now, this feels like an heirloom piece, like, you know what I mean? Like, this is my magnum opus. This is what my grandchildren will be wearing. This is Auntie Jade's or Grandma Jade's jumper that they made when they were 23 years old, and you know, hopefully it stands the test of time. But it really do be feeling like an heirloom piece. Like, this is so exciting. I love this. Super proud of myself. But yeah, this is officially the 24-hour mark. Well, it's been about 25, maybe 26, because like I said, at the 24-hour mark I was not up for filming. So yeah, I'm gonna keep going, and I'll let you know how I'll let you know how long it actually took to crochet the whole thing, including weaving in these ends. I think I might weave in the ends before I do the ribbing, just because otherwise it's gonna piss me off. It's gonna frustrate me. So yeah, one more spin for the road. Yeah. Okay, besties, she's all weaved in. Look at that. Look at how beautiful that is. Look at how beautiful. It took me 3 hours to weave in all the ends. And I went cat by cat because I was thinking, how am I going to do this in a logical, easy, kind of organized way? And I just thought the easiest way to do that would to be go cat by cat. Yeah, is that right? Would be to go cat by cat. So that's what I did. And here she is. So all I have left to do is add the bottom ribbing. But the thing is, I want to wear this jumper to work today, and I have work at 1:30. It's currently like 8 o'clock. So do we think I can get ribbing done in the next like 5 hours? I think we can. But like, also, does it need it? Does it need bottom ribbing? I don't know. Although it is kind of riding at the back, so maybe yeah. But look, guys, look at how cool this is. Oh my god, okay. This is so good, Okay, I'm gonna go add a bottom ribbing. If it looks like trash, I'll just frog it. Like, what's the worst that could happen? But we are currently at like our, I'm gonna say like 28, I think. So not too far off the 24-hour mark. If I hadn't have done such a complicated design, probably would have got it done in 24 hours, but maybe we can do that again another time. But yeah. Okay, girl, pop off. Here she is. Oh my god. She's done. Oh my god, it's over. Let's try this on and see how the final fit is all about. I've done my makeup, I put some clothes on. I mean, I do have to go to work soon as well, so. Oh, stop it right now. This is the best thing. There is nothing I could do that would be better than this. There's nothing more. There's nowhere I can go from here. So thank you everyone for tuning in. I'm going now. This is literally the most perfect thing I've ever made. It fits so well. It's like the perfect oversized. I usually like size down a hook when I do my ribbing to give it that like cinched in look, but I really wanted this to just be like free flowing, and she sure is. The only thing I might redo in the future is the cuffs, because they are a little bit, like they fit perfectly, but I might want them to be a little bit oversized. So I might redo that in the future, but honestly, I can't get over it. I can't get over it. This is my favorite thing I've ever made. And I'm so glad that I decided to revisit this project and reinvent it, because this is so much better than my first one. Like, I'm probably gonna do like a comparison between the two. But yeah, so I think this officially took, I'm gonna say 34 hours. So 10 hours over, God, 10 hours? Oh, because it took me 3 hours to weave in the ends, and it did take me 3 hours to do the bottom ribbing, which is kind of insane. I don't think I was focusing that hard or going as fast as I could have. But anyway, I'm gonna go to work now and show off my jumper to everyone who sees me. Bye guys.